What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy. So I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you guys are caught up with the manga and you don't care about me talking about spoilers. So I think after Boruto chapter 55 and after Boruto chapter 54, where Naruto loses Kurama and Sasuke lost their rinnegan in those respective chapters, I think that we need to have the conversation as to whether or not Naruto and Sasuke have been mishandled in the Boruto era. And I think it's a conversation that is overdue. So I've done videos explaining why Sasuke has not been shown using a whole bunch of rinnegan jutsu and the whole origins of the Sasuke out of chakra thing, which started before you got anything for Boruto Naruto Next Generations. I've already done videos on those. However, I want to take another look at this from a different approach. So one thing that I've seen a lot of people say is that, like, man, Naruto and Sasuke have been getting extremely disrespected in the Boruto era, and Sasuke's become a meme. Sasuke's become a meme in so many different ways. A lot of those memes came from ignorance of some fans, and that's not ignorant in a disrespectful way. I'm more so saying ignorant because you have people that think that the Naruto guidance stuff is something that is a Boruto era byproduct, when it was literally written by Masashi Kishimoto directly after Naruto ended. Naruto ended in 2014, and then a few months later, in early 2015, we got Naruto Gaiden, and that's where the Sasuke out of chakra stuff started. But the fact is that, look, man, when people say that Naruto and Sasuke have been getting disrespected in the series, I think that one area where there is some room for that, to absolutely say yes, is the fact that Naruto and Sasuke, they're the two strongest characters in terms of protagonists that we've had in the franchise, and their power is absolutely insane. If you take Kishimoto's statement that Naruto and Sasuke were equals, then Sasuke was at that same level because they got those power-ups from the Sage of Six Paths. Well, now that Sasuke's lost his rinnegan and Naruto's lost the kyuubi, they've gotten significantly weaker. And one thing that I've said is that if they're going to go this route of stripping these characters down for the point of obviously to start shifting the focus on the Boruto, because in chapter 1 of the manga, they tell you that, like, hey, you know, this in the story of the guy whose dream was to become Hokage, but he does play a part in the early part of my story, but this is still my story. I think there are other ways you could have actually shifted the focus to it being more so focused on the Boruto while moving the spotlight off of Naruto and Sasuke. But I think one of the problems that the series ran into is it started out by us following Boruto, trying to establish Boruto as a character, and Naruto and Sasuke didn't actually come into the full forefront until the back end of the versus Momoshiki arc, when they took on Fused Momoshiki, and then it went right back to that pattern where the next couple arcs they focused directly on Boruto, and then around chapter 31 to 55 really became the Naruto and Sasuke show all over again. They had the crazy battles, and you saw them being able to cut loose and use their full power, and they're fighting against somebody like Jigen in that body that was amped up by absorbing the Ten Tails chakra, and then going into the Otsutsuki transformation. Their full power was absolutely nothing in front of somebody like Jigen. And I think that when people say they've been getting disrespected, where that actually comes in is the fact that it would be cool if Jigen had a better build-up before that. It would have made more sense. The same way that the anime is adding all these other layers to Car, and you're getting the personalities and the inner workings of the group, and you're getting more information about the organization and the members. If we would have got something similar in the manga, and there was a full personality for Jigen, and we learned more about his workings and how he actually did things, opposed to there just being this massive info dump right before you got to the major battle where Naruto ended up losing Kurama and Sasuke lost the rinnegan. If there would have been more done like that, then I think people will be able to swallow this whole situation a lot better. That's why I say, like, this is something that was a good idea, and was something that was definitely needed, but it was not executed in the best way, which is kind of disappointing given how slow the Boruto manga actually progresses. Really and truly, like the last 9 or 10 chapters have basically been within 1 or 2 days of each other. So not a lot of time has actually progressed in this time, but it's been several volumes at this point. A Boruto manga volume is only 4 volumes. So we're like, what, 2.5 volumes into this period right here. So I can kind of see where there's disappointment in that. But you know, like the complaints like Sasuke's out of chakra, I've said it before, that started in Naruto Gaiden. Sasuke, when he uses that interdimension ability where he's able to access those portals, it takes a significant amount of Sasuke's chakra. And really and truly, opening up those portals has always taken a lot of Sasuke's chakra. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is go back. Go back to the Naruto War arc when Sasuke's in that desert dimension. Sasuke, off screen, was trying to open up those portals. How do I know that? Because Sasuke's saying, well, he wasn't in that one either. Or I can sense Naruto. Sasuke's shown huffing and puffing. Sasuke's shown being exhausted, which means that while Naruto's fighting against Kaguya, Sasuke was trying to open up those dimensions. And then shortly after Sakura and Obito are able to get Sasuke out that dimension, and then you go into Obito's death, Sasuke has a moment where he can't use any of his rinnegan powers. If Sasuke was just sitting there chilling the whole time, his chakra levels wouldn't have been that damn low. So I say that to say Sasuke has always, with that rinnegan, been in a situation where those jutsu eat up an enormous amount of his chakra. That's something that's always happened in Naruto Gaiden. We saw that opening up those portals, it did enough to Sasuke to where he actually lost the Tomoe that were on his rinnegan. Sasuke, for the entirety of Naruto Gaiden until like the last 2 or 3 chapters, when it gets revealed, Naruto even makes a joke about it, saying, I knew there was something different about you. Sasuke says that his ocular powers have returned, which means that his chakra has recharged at this point. I think that the main way that you can say that Naruto and Sasuke have been getting disrespected is we haven't actually seen them use their full power without an ass pull like the Baryon form. We haven't seen them use their full power in a battle to where it's a respectable fight. The Momoshiki fight in the manga, Naruto was at less than 50% of his power. Sasuke was weakened from having to open up that portal and then teleport all those other people into the dimension, 7 other people with them. So neither one of them were at full power, but they're able to wash, fuse Momoshiki. So we never saw them in that real fight where they got the win, where they just used their God-given abilities. When I say God, I mean Hagoromo-given abilities in a fight where they actually came out on top. The other 2 times we saw them go completely crazy in a fight was against Jigen. They got stomped. Sasuke was getting punched out of his perfect Susanoo. They're getting chakra rods shoved into them. And then when Naruto and Sasuke fight in this new dimension, the same thing. Isshiki, in that new transformation, Isshiki was stomping all over them. Then Naruto has to go into his Baryon form, which again was an ass pull. But at the same time, it took something like that to bring down Isshiki. And so if you want to say they've been disrespected in that regard, I agree with you, because that's one disappointment that I have with the Boruto franchise, that we never saw Naruto and Sasuke use 100% of their power in a battle where they could win. I feel like it's a bit cheap that we see them use 100% of their power in a battle that they can't actually win. I don't think that there's as much payoff in that. However, I want to know from you guys, how do you guys feel about that? Let me know down in the comment section below. Do you think that Naruto and Sasuke, if this was the route they're going to do, one of them should have been killed off earlier in the series? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.